guys, I'm Shelby. I'm also a volunteer with ILF. Tonight we have an awesome guest with us. We have Tony Hunt. Tony's having some camera difficulties, so we'll have him on voice, and then if that gets fixed out, you guys might be blessed with seeing his face. Tony is the owner of Tony Hunt Consulting, and my personal favorite, Custom Coffees, because they make ILF's mission fuel, and I don't know about y'all, but I need my coffee in the morning. So he's also the Chief Development Officer at Operation Hot Bean Juice at Operation Safe Escape, whose mission there is to make sure that every person who's impacted by domestic violence has the resources, information, and confidence that they need to be able to leave their abuser and stay safe once they make that decision. So it's really an incredible mission, and we'll be discussing that more tonight. If you would like any more information before we get into it about Tony and some of the groups that he is a part of, that information is all available in chat, and you can see those commands, as Lovey mentioned, by typing !commands. All right, Tony, thanks for joining us. Got your mic working?
I do, and I almost have the camera working too. On the
awesome. Killing it.
We believe in you.
I'll almost be there.
When it was coming on earlier, we had his eyes, and then we could only see his background, but it was the "everything is fine" meme. So it's pretty fitting.
It was even better because it was upside down.
Be mysterious, you know.
At one point, it was upside down, so then the even top half of Tony was also upside down.
It was still his
everything
forehead,
is this is fine. So everything's on fire, and Tony was upside down. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
We have a face.
You're not upside down.
I'm not upside down. It's just me.
Wow.
All right. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome. I'm actually on vacation.
What?
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for joining us while you're on vacation.
Oh no, this is vacation.
All right. Well, I don't know about everyone else, but I need to hear some more about this coffee because I tasted it all. So how did you get involved with that? And then how did you link it up with ILF?
How I got into coffee, that was really funny. This little old man in a cowboy hat showed up on my front door, quite literally, asking for help with his laptop. I have no idea who the referral was or anything. The guy literally showed up at my house needing help with his laptop. As it happens, the guy is a master roaster, and he's been in the business for like 35 years. And I couldn't say no to him. He was in such bad shape. So I told him to come in, have a cup of coffee, fixed his laptop for him. It was mangled. And then while I'm fixing his laptop, this guy had a coffee kit in his backpack. And all the coffees he had were super premium, like the stuff that's like $100 a pound type stuff. And so I'm hacking away on his laptop, and he's throwing me little tasting cups constantly. Took me about an hour to work on his laptop. In that hour, I had 8 cups of coffee.
Oh my goodness.
Shots. And suffice to say that I was loaded. I stayed up for about 30 hours that day.
Fix any other computers while you were at it?
Anyhow, about a year or two later, he remained a client. And he did a coffee startup, and he wanted me to be the CTO for it. That startup hasn't finished going live or anything yet. It's still kind of incubating. But in the meantime, he taught me how to roast, and he taught me a whole truckload about the coffee business. And I just took it in like a sieve. I just soaked it all in. And when COVID hit, I had a choice. I was about to get a new motorcycle or maybe convert the workshop into a roastery. And
guess what you chose?
Roastery it was. Roastery it was.
That's awesome. I know I'm realizing now how little I know about coffee other than how to drink it and how I like to order it.
Yeah, it's not a super clean process, to be honest. When the bean's picked, it's laid out under sunlight, and it's a cherry. And they let their sun pretty much roast the meat off of the cherry, and the bean, the pit, is the coffee bean. and different farmers do it different ways, but eventually it ends up in a big burlap sack. It's about 120 pounds, and they ship them all over the place. They auction them if they're really good. And some of it lands in my roastery. And
That's awesome.
that's where the mad science kicks in.
What does your roastery setup look like? Like how much space do you have?
I have about 650 square feet in it right now. It's got a 10-pound roaster, a grinder, a sifter. It's got about 1,000 pounds of coffee in it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. that was actually kind of an experience trying to figure out how to handle it. Burlap that's coming in from outside the country, by the way, you kind of want to burn it. It's never clean.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's been on a a hauling ship for X amount of days or weeks, and it's just not, you want everything clean. So that wasn't staying in the burlap bags, and now everything's good. I've got a packaging area, and I've got a blending area, roasting area, of course, and there's a little cupping area too. It's like think of an efficiency apartment, except for all the walls are coffee stuff.
That sounds like heaven.
It's kind of cool. And the really cool thing is that the house smells like amazing most of the time.
That's what I need to make my garage into.
A lot of people have. A whole lot of people have. They started doing their own roasting. That's usually how they start, is in their garage. Now, most people don't go out and get a 10-pound roaster. That was probably one of the more expensive parts. The equipment you need to package up a lot of coffee at the time, excuse me, at the same time, that tends to be really costly. Roasters usually like, and then.
Oh, I think we lost you for a sec.
Uh-oh.
Was it just me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It just cut out for 1 sec, so we didn't hear the price of that.
Oh, the roastery, or the roasters cost anywhere from, you can get a small one for like $3 or $4 grand, but they usually cost upwards of 15 to 50.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, there's the motorcycle.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened there. Is that's what happened to the motorcycle. But most of the other equipment is the same way. Oh, hold on. Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just caught some interruptions there. Anyhow, once everything got balanced out and I figured out where everything was supposed to be, and no little amount of coaching from JB, that's the roaster, who's now actually a close friend.
Was he the cowboy hat?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the funniest little old man. I mean, he's like 5'0", wears a cowboy hat, walks around.
Sounds great. I feel like Sai needs to make a comic book strip of your first meeting.
Okay.
I want to see that happen.
Okay.
That would be pretty cool. That was
happening.
It was definitely interesting. I mean, and at the time I was living in the colony, and there's no way that anybody would have told him to come to my front door illegitimately or anything. It was just really funny, and him doing the coffee. He didn't know at the time that I had a coffee company whiteboarded, ready to go. I just hadn't pulled the trigger on it because I had too many projects already.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. What are the chances?
Yeah, that weird,
your
right?
careers just intersected in the most random way.
The business side of things I had a good grasp of, but the actual coffee making I didn't. And hey, when the Gordon Ramsay of coffee comes knocking on my door to fix his laptop. All right.
The universe lined you guys up together for some reason.
Yeah, it worked out really well already.
There's the name of the comic strip. I think you just named it, The Gordon Ramsay of Coffee.
100% the name.
It's not the first time people have called him that too. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So, okay, you got into coffee, you got your own roastery set up, you're making it. How did you connect with ILF? How did Mission Fuel start?
Shane, was that me and you chatting?
That was, yeah, it was.
There was I'm not new to nonprofit, but I am newer to nonprofit fundraising, and I wanted to pick Shane's brain because the whole scenario, pitching in front of the Shark Tank, that's no problem. I'm good with that. It's a little bit different. It's a whole different market. Looking at fundraising versus pitching for investment, and I wanted to pick Shane's brain because ILF is their alignment is very parallel to Safe Escapes. So, and at the time, I didn't realize just how aligned. We share members like multiple.
You do,
so,
yeah.
One of the guys actually works for me as a pen tester, and we just have there's a lot of synergy there. And once Shane and I started talking, we were like, hey, there was some good talks going on there, and that's right when I was starting to get the coffee set up and to focus on with the coffee company was make it very, very involved with nonprofits and charities. And with very few bumps, actually, it came together really well. Mission Fuel is actually pretty much the favorite coffee, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I got to do the little tasting before we decided on which one to go with for Mission Fuel. So I got to taste them all. But my Mission Fuel is still on the way, so I'm excited to
Oh, really?
get it open. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you guys describe Mission Fuel as? Is it dark? Is it a light roast? Is it medium?
It's pretty.
I describe it, it's a dark roast with a very smooth back end. So it's got this really wonderful front end with the dark roast, and then it's smooth and silky right off the back end of it going down.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's a little lighter than a full dark, but you get that nice little depth in the front, and then it lightens off. Yeah, it's really
perfect.
Good.
I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, I think somebody in the chat earlier said that they mentioned how smooth it was. It may have been Tully talking about how smooth it was. So that's my taste. What do you guys think?
It looks like Tully
good.
said medium and smooth. That's like literally what I love. That's perfect.
I wouldn't know.
Medium to dark
Sounds
and
good.
smooth.
Has
I
good,
love that.
good taste, good flavors. Me
Killed
like
it, Mandy. You should write reviews.
me like very good.
And then
Good.
it comes in bean form, right? And we have to grind it ourselves.
I bought a grinder just for this.
I'm going to
So
buy a
did
grinder
I.
just for
I
this.
encourage you to buy a grinder because you can keep your coffee for longer. If you're not a big coffee, go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay, Tony. Is there a grinder you recommend per se, or just?
There is one on the website that I do recommend. I'm
good.
planning on getting more on the site.
Good.
To be honest, it depends on how you're making your coffee as to what grinder you really want. If you're doing French press or cold brew,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
those don't
Lost you for a sec.
Sorry.
We just missed the recommendation. We lost you at if you're doing cold brew.
The cold brew. We lost you right after.
Oh, if you're doing French press or cold brew. Hold on one sec. Let's see if I can't improve my internet connection. I'm in the middle of nowhere. If it goes down, it goes down. if you're doing French press or cold brew, or drip for that matter, you're on the coarser half of the spectrum, and the grinder doesn't mean as much. If you're trying to do like atmospheres of pressure through an espresso machine, then you need a good grinder, because the grinder has to make a fine powder.
That makes sense.
So you can get a cheap grinder. It's totally okay. Don't feel like you're getting pressured into something expensive, because you usually don't need it.
So
I just do drip coffee.
if you're going to recommend any coffee machine, I know we're talking, there's such a range of them. Any like middle of the line coffee machine for someone that drinks it every day but doesn't want to spend $5,000. Do you have a
Oh,
recommendation?
I've never recommended that kind of coffee maker. Honestly, a French press maker. Get a machine that boils water at 200 degrees, and you're fine. The magic temperature for coffee water is 200 degrees, not boiling.
Okay.
So it's if you have that in a press, you're fine. So if you're already used to drinking tea and you have a machine that boils to 190, you're pretty much there.
I heard tea. I'm back. I heard tea.
Did you guys catch me?
We did.
Yeah, we did. What's your favorite kind of tea, Sai?
All of them. No. Earl Grey with lemon.
See, I'm an Earl Grey drinker too.
Right now I have a cinnamon chai though.
I mix mine with mint, with fresh mint.
I like to do that too. It'll be very good.
I'm
Especially right
just
now when I'm
craving.
sick.
I'm just craving all the coffee and teas now. It's a
I
problem.
like to cook with tea. It's very hard though. I've never cooked with coffee, but my friend eats beans raw and would cook with them and does everything. I'm not talking about Mandy this time. But I don't know how to cook with coffee, but cooking with tea is very difficult. You got to be very careful with it.
How do you cook with tea?
So there's a few ways you can do the water, or I can put my camera back on. That's what I could do. You can cook with water. You can boil the tea juice, and you can boil the tea. Take the hot leaf juice, unlike hot bean juice, and use that to boil whatever contents. Or if you're mixing it with like a cake or something, you can use it there. You can boil the milk with the tea and infuse it, or you can actually put the tea leaves in, because they're edible. They're just leaves. And that's often used on like the top of pastries and stuff, or if you're making like matcha, you can make any. I've made matcha pancakes that I shared with you guys.
Oh yeah, those
And
look so
it's
good.
made out of tea, Mandy.
Just don't burn your tea,
Don't burn your tea. No, you have to be careful.
especially with matcha.
You have to be careful with which type of tea it is. Like a green tea and a black tea do not boil at the same temperature.
Okay, well
Yeah,
now I want
temperature's-
tea, coffee, and pastries.
You're welcome. Welcome to my cafe.
Oh my goodness. Okay, awesome. Wow. I also want to see this roastery.
I'll have pictures up here. I want to
You
make
do?
sure it's
Okay.
clean and pretty. And right now it's not clean and pretty. It's a big mess because I've been roasting.
Oh, we lost your audio again. Tom.
And so that's it smells wonderful, but basically everything is everywhere.
So with a 10-pound roaster, you're making small batch, right? So this is really small batch custom coffee. Every single batch becomes that.
10 pounds at a time. That's what the roaster is built for. But that only takes 8 to 12 minutes. So generally you gauge per hour what you can.
Hey Tony,
Yeah.
we're losing your audio again.
Oh boy.
It might be that you're just dipping a little low for your microphone. So that's what it sounds like with the
How
camera.
about there? Is that better?
Way better.
Oh wait, I can't hear y'all now. Hold on.
Run away.
It's funny.
Okay, somebody say something.
Hi.
Something.
Thank you, Alethea, for all the subs.
Yes, that too.
It's awesome.
Hey, Tony, if you ever want to
nice.
work together and make tea and coffee,
Hey, there we go.
I'm down. I'm really trying. I'm really pushing the tea agenda here.
Or just force everyone to like coffee. If you keep making
No.
coffee, people will come around at some point
I won't.
and be right.
I won't.
I didn't used to like coffee, and then
and you were right when you didn't like coffee, and now you're wrong.
no, like the smell was really good, and then I would taste it and I was like, eh. And then I, grew up. So
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh,
You know what
the
I just
heartbreak.
saw? You know what I
They're
just
back.
saw my street my stream the other day? I saw we were talking about coffee and somebody was painting with coffee.
Yeah,
I thought it
I've
was a
seen that
really
tea
neat,
too.
yeah,
Oh,
like
that's
where
cool.
they
And
literally
wine. Wine's
painted
a
an
big one.
elephant. But I just thought that was really neat when we were talking about earlier all the different uses of cooking, and who knew it could be an art method too.
I love those. Just don't use mission fuel. Drink that one.
Unless you leave it out and you have
I mean-
already heated it up 500 times, and now you're just like, I don't know what to do with it. Paint. Don't.
I mean,
waste it.
unless you have like 4 leftover beans in your grinder and you don't know what to do with them, because I panicked and just dumped more coffee beans in from a different. I
Ruined.
panicked.
Ruined
It was a mess. It was a big mess. I didn't know what to do. It didn't
Oh,
taste bad. It just didn't taste good.
We have some cool ideas popping up in chat too. They said you can use coffee to stain woodworking projects also.
Yep. We've done that here.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you have any other like
Mhm.
coffee related hobbies? You said you did wood staining with it. Anything else you've used it for?
Making chocolate covered coffee this Christmas.
Quick
Do
pause.
you sell that?
Hang on, before he
Because you
answers
could
that
just
question,
have
let's-
all my money.
Let's build the suspense before he answers that. Can the mods please put in chat the links for the grinder and everything else? That was mentioned. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now do you
Yeah,
make chocolate?
ILF bot's being persnickety again tonight.
Mandy.
Hey, it's functioning as intended, at least.
Oh, that's one of OSC's guys. Nick, yes. One of my friends has the roaster or has the coffee maker. It's amazing.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, that is on the more expensive side of coffee makers. But it's one of the best Turkish coffee makers you can get.
Well, just
Ooh, I
ask
love
my
Turkish
wife.
coffee.
I need another way to make coffee because I've only got like 5 right now. So
Yeah,
So
that
why
was
don't you give
a
her a
good
fan?
opportunity. I got a reseller deal with them, so that I'm actually able to sell it less than retail.
wow, nice.
Oh my goodness. Well, now that I'm just drooling about all the food and the drinks we've been
So
talking about.
hungry.
Tell us a little bit about OSE, about Operation Safe Escape. I know introed it a little bit, but we'd love to hear from you what it
Okay.
does and how you got involved with it.
I'm not sure I can tell everything about how I got involved, but
Okay.
we'll get close.
Yeah,
Just
whatever
share
you're
what you
able to share.
can. We know that feeling here well. So
Yeah, we had
understood.
how I got involved in the arena. I can tell some of it. I can't tell all of it.
Yeah, edit as much as you need.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I was working on a console in a police cruiser, literally upside down in it, and somebody asked the question, Tony, do you know how to get into a laptop? And I just looked over and I was like, I'm literally up to my eyeballs in wires looking at them, and they knew the answer to the question before they asked it. I was like, yes. Does somebody need some help with the laptop that they got locked out of? And he's like, yeah. That wasn't what I expected. The county in question had 3 months of overflow in forensic work, which basically meant that people needing forensic work quickly, the the investigations were sitting on it for like 3 months. It was bad.
3-month bottleneck to help.
Oh, that was just one county. As soon as I started looking closer at it, I found out that the state is backlogged by 6 months unless you had a way to give yourself a higher priority.
Oh my
If
goodness.
your department did not have an existing budget for computer forensics, you were going to county and thereby going to state, and they just don't have a budget for it. I mean, they got like 3 outsourcers, and this is all stuff that they had proof for. It literally just needed to get pushed through. And anyhow, long story short, there was some discussion, and I helped them out, and the subject matter wasn't cool. Somebody went to jail, and I started paying attention more. And every once in a while, I would get a referral completely out of the blue, and to do some help. And I stayed solo for a long time. I was still doing my own thing all over the place. So a few years, let's fast forward about 5 years. A target, we'll call him a target. Somebody came up on my radar, and I was asked to investigate him at the same time Chris Cox was. And so we ended up not really stepping all over each other, but it didn't take us long to realize that we both were looking at the same guy, even though we were both asked by different people. And it brought some synergy together. And I actually did not realize that there was an organization doing the work, because I had looked around and almost everybody was referring back over to like PIs, or somebody would say they're doing the work, but they weren't actually. They were just like somebody who was peripherally involved with InfoSec, and they were trying to help, but they weren't working with law enforcement at all, or they weren't collecting evidence. They were just doing the cool parts of InfoSec and trying to help their friends. OSC was completely different. They were doing the job right. They were really, really cognizant of operational security for the survivors, which was really important. And once we started talking, I couldn't help but get involved. And then I took on the higher role beginning of last summer, I think.
That's amazing. It does sound, as you're speaking, I do see so many overlaps with ILF.
Yeah.
I've heard a very similar story to yours from a lot of our volunteers. They were involved in some way, or started. They just gained awareness that there was an organization doing this, and then they got involved. And so it's, while it's sad so many people are touched by both of these things, it's amazing to see the kind of people that end up in the organizations, because they're really motivated people.
And that's some of my closest friends have come from that relationship too, and it's really awesome. So many good people, like really good people. The part about having a team too has really, really helped. I mean, like I was doing everything solo, and you can't automatically trust somebody to do work for you on this level. So
Yeah.
it was
Having someone that's been through the same process and the
exactly.
same security
And
checks and everything.
it turned out to not be one person, it turned out to be like 100. So it was just amazing.
Wow, that's great. So can you tell us a little bit more about Operation Safe Escape and
Sure.
how it works? I don't know what you're able to share, but
I can share a lot. I just can't share any
okay.
case details.
Oh, yep, understood.
So we do work at multiple levels. Of course, at the survivor level, we're interfacing directly with people who have who are basically they're victims of domestic violence, stalking, harassment, abuse, and we're doing multiple things with them. We're trying to teach them about operational security and how to better maintain their footprint so that they can't be stalked, or that it's harder, I should say. Um, most, the drill. Almost everybody's low hanging fruit. So when somebody decides to go after another, if they're not if they're not aware of what they can do to protect themselves, it just doesn't. They're in a bad position from the get go. We teach them how to not be in a bad position. At the same time, we help them improve their position as it is right then. We do all the forensics. We do lots of hardware forensics. We do a lot of heavy OSINT to see exactly where they are and what needs to improve. And if there's an ongoing case by law enforcement, we try to interface and get that going from that side too. We will collect evidence where it's opportune on their behalf, not on. Of course, we don't give it to the survivors, but um, when we catch it, it definitely goes into the book. At the next level, we
Can I ask a quick question, Tony?
sure, Shane.
When you guys first started, did you get resistance from law enforcement, or was the area already kind of comfortable with having some people help out?
That was my
Interfacing.
question as well.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sean.
No.
well, it's all of those experiences were individual. I was already working like very closely with police officers. Before that, however, I was on the other side of the fence. So if you had asked me in my 20s if I was going to be working alongside police, I would have laughed like, yeah, right, that'll ever happen. Chris has a wonderful relationship with a number of police departments, and he's really good with it. Not everybody is as comfortable with working with police departments or investigators, and that can go both ways. We have to kind of feel it out. We're dealing with so many different locations that we have to, if we get wind that there is an open case, we'll engage and see what we can do, see what they're willing to let us do before they start feeling. Sometimes they can get territorial.
Mhm.
It's all the standard stuff. We try to navigate it. Once they realize that we're serious and that we're trying to help and that we're not in any way trying to push their buttons, it usually works out very positive. And when we do have evidence, which we usually do end up finding some, it goes straight to them. So we just facilitate as much as we can in place of the lack of forensics that they may have. Some PDs can't even afford like a toolkit, much less the training that needed to do it, or how long it takes, because it still takes long even if you have the tools. So, we facilitate because we have some of those tools. We have a lot of them. There's a couple that we still want, but bottom line is that we have resources that the smaller PDs don't always have, and that gives them an advantage once they realize what we're willing to do. Sometimes it turns into an amazing relationship. Like, there'll be an investigator that's like, "You can do what? You can, okay." And all of a sudden they're asking us for everything. Like, just get it over here, we're going to work on it. And sometimes we'll crack jokes about it, like, yeah, he hasn't worked with a DA yet. So, because sometimes that turns out to be the hiccup, is whether or not the DA wants to pursue it, because it costs money. It's all, a lot of the time it's budgetary. Or whether or not somebody wants, it can even be political, but we facilitate as much as we can until they almost don't have a choice. Like, they have so much evidence that it would be almost negligent to not do anything. That occurs at the survivor level. We do more. We do education for police departments. Anything we can teach them, we will.
What is I'm sure this, I don't know if
Mhm.
this is kind of more of an abstract question. I'm sure it changes depending on the department. I know you said you have worked with quite a few different ones, different sizes and everything, but what does some of that general training usually look like? Like what are the things not included in their standard training that you all are able to provide
What
for them?
happens? What happens to survivors when their case goes dead?
Oh, okay.
Some
I'm
of
sure.
them know. Some of them choose not to know. So we keep it as awareness. Sometimes it can be OSINT.
Mhm.
We just try to provide value in training and get them, where they're, where we can encourage them to be a little bit more involved. They've got a job to do, and
Yep.
their job is putting criminals away. It's not remediating the situation, unfortunately. And so we try to make them aware, and making them aware that we're there too. So once they see that they can benefit from our relationship with us, it usually works out, and they learn. We learn from each other. Everything I know about police operations came from doing this stuff. Um, Being able to speak directly to police officers on some of this stuff has really helped. Um, and you know, barring any political climate, they're almost always there to help people. So once you have their ear and their interest, they're usually in. Um, the training we have, we've been focused more on interior training the last couple, but the usually what we're teaching is awareness. This is what happens here. Use case here. Um, you can help by making this little act an act of you know like a consular act instead of uh, or I don't know if that's the right word. Uh, Act as a counselor.
I was just going to say there's so much psychology
Yeah,
behind victims and even in the immediate moments about how a police officer would be even confused as to why the victim might defend the perpetrator. And I mean, there's just so much to it, so much psychology behind it. So the training is awesome. I think it's such a great idea
yeah.
because it really is such a unique situation.
Our relationship with the DOJ has gotten us trauma training. So we're starting to go through the larger courses to make sure that everybody we're working with is trained as much as they could be, up to and including being certified trauma counselors.
Oh,
Um,
wow, that's incredible.
yeah, yeah. It's the only sucky part is that we have so little time. And these are big courses. Some of these are 40 and 80-hour gigs, and so we're trudging through it, but it's actually happening. Um,
Well, I think it's amazing that that effort is even being made, right? Because these are people who come from a background of, maybe OSINT investigators or InfoSec in that community. And so not only are you taking your skills and using them for the mission that you have, but you're also remembering that human aspect and doing everything you can to emotionally support the people that you're helping as well, which is incredible.
Thank you. The We're trying. The third, we kind of put it on 3 points. The third point of the work we do, we try to affect policy, and we try to uh, help affect how the Fed and the states try to help survivors. Um, where, like, we wrote basically a large scope of policy for how safe houses are built and kept secure. We finished that in December, and it's already, the DOJ has it now. Um,
So
the
will that have an effect on a national level, or is that
uh, Probably not, and that's because DHS handles safe house handles the
Mhm.
national ones,
Okay.
and they do have their own scope of controls The difference is that they're not going to publish it for anybody, and they don't want a third party to do it for them.
Got it.
So in this case, what we had is 50 different states with absolutely no cohesion on maintaining this, basically your operational security for domestic violence safe houses. So we did it. We went ahead and wrote it, and it turned out to be a really good foundation. And right now, we're actually looking at trying to provide those safe houses with basically blue team, is what it comes down to.
Wow.
Yeah, we're building it. It's already starting. Now we don't know how the money's going to work, but operationally, we already know what we're doing at every level there. So we're organizing, and we hope to actually do some more policy, be involved with some more policy as well.
That's incredible. We had a really great question in chat as well. I'm just going to read it directly from there. So it says details not required, but do you think Safe Escape has assisted in setting law precedent to help impact future cases? Kind of goes along with what you were discussing just now.
Oh, I'd like to say we did, but there's no way for us to know ahead of time.
Right.
It's that kind of response. We have had an effect on the Fed, but the Fed that hasn't gone into policy. That's gone into how the Fed helps the states, but they operate independently of each other in this matter. So we like to think that what we've empowered survivors with, and what we've taught the police, help not just gain awareness, but gain support. And eventually it will, if it hasn't already.
Yeah, absolutely great answer to that. I think it's very clear as well. Yeah, they're saying things. Okay, so what can we do for those of us that want to support or bring awareness to your mission?
You are not alone. That is the biggest mantra that we go with. Everybody who is a survivor of domestic violence, harassment, the whole spectrum of abuse, they end up feeling like they're alone. It is basically how abusers get power, and it's how they maintain it. And the first thing that we try to give them is the sense that they're not alone, and that they have options. They can get back into a secure position, and no longer, they can work into a position where they're not feeling like they're scared all the time. And that's the big thing. So it comes down to, you are not alone. We have a lot of resources now. We can, as a matter of fact, we had volunteers pop up to help us do an on-site sweep. We actually went so far as to do an on-site sweep, and it's amazing how much support we get when everybody rallies together. There's always a local support arena or system or organization that is near to a police department. So if somebody doesn't think that they can call the police, they can usually find a domestic violence or abuse support organization that's nearby that has feet on the ground. And if they don't, by all means, they can reach out to us, safeescape.org/help. And it's real easy to get to us. And we do, even though we come from an infosec perspective, we're working so often in more of a everything capacity. Like, what do you need? We'll try to help you there, and everything. We don't like to let it go. We like to make sure that there's a positive result to any interaction, of course. And we like partnering up with other organizations. So
All right, awesome. Well, is there so okay, perfect. We've got the Mons posted the safeescape.org/help link there. So if anyone knows anyone currently in a situation like this, please spread that around. Aside from just bringing awareness, how can we donate or contribute or support in other ways?
The same link,
Hmm.
Safe Escape. If you're just looking for something online, you can go to safeescape.org/help, and that will let you see the choices you have and what you can do to help right away. To articulate them, we, of course, we're always looking for the giving community, but volunteers. Um, we are always looking for good investigators that are willing to work directly with survivors. Um, we Right now, I'm actually looking for content writers to help me with the giving program, because I have to write. Some of you guys will know what this means. I have 19 grants to write. I have to write 19 grant
Good
Everyone
emails.
luck.
eye blocking or face palming.
Yeah,
Good luck.
They've done it.
and
So you
we have.
desperately need grant writers.
I need somebody to work with on it. Um, they're not all needed at once.
Okay.
Right now, the schedule is looking like 19 grants. Um, and we're putting together our giving community, or our campaign, and I need content writers for basically all of our seasonal promotion stuff that goes out. I've got a lot of it articulated. Um, and of course, we need people who want to interface with us. We do a lot of work alongside other organizations. Same with ILF. Um, any way we can, we do. Um, we have there's some cool stuff coming up too. We have a talk and a sock being built. Um, we're building an ISAC for basically personal safety and security. It's the scope of our mission is what it comes down to. Alongside that, we're building basically a technical support center for support organizations. And we're
Oh,
building a security center for those support organizations so that they can call in and email in questions, um, in the security arena.
Okay, so let me ask a question on that to
Mhm.
clarify. So if there's a safe house out there somewhere, you're building the infrastructure so they could call you guys
Yes,
and get assistance on how to keep their own people safer.
24/7.
Wow.
Yeah,
Love it. Love it.
yeah. It's um, we're pretty good ways to to that going live. Um, the and of course the talk is basically, support organizations need tech support too.
Hmm.
It may not be completely security related. And honestly, I think it could probably be, I can't print, how do I fix this? But they don't have anybody else to call, and they don't have any place that's secure to call. Um, so we're giving them a way to, hit us up for some support. Um, and the ISAC, of course, is basically just supposed to be a consolidation of a ton of information out there that can help people that are in a bad position. Um, Trying to put together a database of support groups per location, per state, per city. Because that when it dials down, you can look at a state and there's 400 different organizations. You don't know what to look for.
Hmm.
So it can be kind of overwhelming, and you're trying to help. So we're trying to make it a little bit easier. See what organizations help at what geographic level, and just start documenting it. That's some of the data work that we're trying to do in the background.
You could almost take that to an organization is Operation Safe Escape approved or a validation or something, So
That would be really cool. Well, certifying, you mean certifying the security?
or just the, because look, I'm running, I need help, I need to escape, and I've got 5 choices in my area. I don't know which one to turn to. This one's got the seal of approval. They're good people, you know them. They're connected to you. I'm just trying to
Oh,
put myself in the
oh
position
yeah,
of
that's
what do I do?
we do referrals already. That where we can, we do it. Like I said, we're usually trying to help them out quite a bit. So where we can make a referral, we will. Sometimes we actually have assets in the area. One of the good things about working 100%, telecommute is our people are all over the place.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have local assets, and that makes a huge difference. All of a sudden, there's feet on the ground, and that makes a huge difference because most of these guys, they turn tail and run the minute there's a physical obstacle to them, and it helps a lot. The um, Anyhow, that's it. I think I've articulated pretty much all of our projects at this point.
That's great. I mean, thank you so much for filling us in on everything that's going on. I'm really excited that this fireside chat in particular is just going to be recorded and available for people to see, because I think that I've learned a lot about your operation already tonight, and I'm sure everyone else here has as well. So thanks so much for sharing it with us and bringing some more awareness to it.
Anytime.
All right,
An
awesome.
excuse
Well,
to drink a lot of coffee.
I know I'm gonna go order like way too many bags of that mission fuel
I mean, you
as
can
soon as
also
we hang
win
up.
some
were-
next weekend.
I
Yeah,
really want
tell us
some
about
right
that.
now. I'm craving it, and I'm not going to drink it tonight because then I'll be up.
Wimp. You gotta just
Ah.
train yourself to chug coffee and then immediately take a nap.
Stop
good
it,
for you.
Mandy.
It's
I
like,
wake up at 3 a.m.
probably-
wired.
it probably doesn't mean you have any underlying health conditions. It probably
You
just
definitely
means you're
have health
fine.
conditions.
It's probably just means you're fine. Shh.
No.
Shh.
Guy, you want to tell us about how to win the mission fuel next week before we sign off?
Yeah.
yeah.
Good idea, Aaron. Take all the notes on Mandy. Thank you. So, for anybody who is interested in getting some of the mission fuel, but may not be in the position to purchase it right now, you are in luck. For 6 hours long, hopefully I have somewhat of a voice back by then, on this Saturday, September 18th, I almost said November, I and some of the guys from the Delta Squad Zero will be hosting a 6-hour gaming stream. And during those 6 hours, we will be giving away 36 bags of Mission Fuel coffee. And it's gonna be a wild ride. We're playing a bunch of different games. Phasmophobia, Gartic Phone, whatever else we pull out, Jackbox, something, who knows. We want to hang out with everybody who's here. You guys can come and you can play with us on the games that are multiplayer, like Jackbox and Gartic Phone. And hopefully, I can drag some of the people on this call to be special guest stars throughout the 6 hours. But we'll see. How do you win every single bag of coffee, Mandy? You have to figure out how to hack the algorithm that I won't share with you.
I just realized I was signed into Twitch as OSC. I didn't even realize it until just now.
Hey, we want to take a minute to thank everybody that donated tonight. So
Yes, thank
that
you
was
all.
really awesome. It's genuinely appreciated. Please know that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't even see the donations until right now.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you to everyone.
Tully says
All right.
bribe the spiders.
Bribe the spiders.
Yeah. So like,
It might work.
how are we doing? How is the coffee giveaway working? You have to like do
So
something.
you basically just have to be there. It's gonna be kind of ILF Fest style. Where if you're there, you'll get probably a token that you can put into the giveaway. If you donate, You'll get tokens to that equivalence. And we'll do a spin at some point during the half hour. It's going to be every half hour. And
Will you be physically spinning? Because I will definitely be there if we
I
can make
will
that
show
I'll
happen.
up.
make a spinny thing for you,
I will
Shelby.
clone
A spinning
myself.
thing? Okay.
I will clone myself
Amazing.
and show up twice.
Oh, so you're
Spin
gonna
around
pull
in
an iron.
circles. I'm not cloning myself 20 times.
Only twice. You haven't caught up to Iron's technology yet.
No.
For those who don't know, we have a frequent viewer of our streams whose handle is Iron something, and it's always Iron something because
Variations of
he's made
Iron.
30 of them, for reasons unknown, and but yeah, you just basically have to be there. If you're there for an extended period of time, you'll get a token that you can use to enter the raffle. And if you donate, you get more tokens, so your chances go up. So, Mandy, if you would like to win every bag, you better donate all the money.
Hey Shane, can I use my ILF card?
That's not how that works.
Mandy? No. Bad Mandy.
Bad Mandy.
I asked first.
You know what? All right, fair.
That's an
Gotta give her that
improvement, but
point.
bad
It's
Mandy.
like it all goes.
Swipe, swipe.
But that's not you.
It goes back
Okay,
into the
okay.
mission.
Okay, I
No.
won't.
All right, before we
That's a
descend
good
into
idea.
complete
Crazy
chaos.
hackers.
It's redonate.
Good
We always
idea.
find the great. We always find the
I
great.
get
line.
coffee and donations.
Yeah, that's the
It goes
goal.
on-
Sam's
it all
got it.
goes back into the same.
But that's
whatever.
the problem, Mandy. We want
I will
more,
perform
not
my
the
job more
same.
efficiently.
Bad Mandy is now a new tag.
It'll boost the donations, right?
No, Nicholas, that's a bad idea. Don't
You
tell
This
her to
actually
ask
is
for
not the
forgiveness.
line of
No.
words.
Nicholas-
Ask for
Nicholas is
forgiveness
my-
instead of
Nicholas is
permission.
Wait a
my
second.
favorite.
Because what you're actually doing is you're losing money along the way because you would be paying the credit card charging fees. So you would be. It wouldn't even be the same amount of money.
No.
Going
No,
into
but
it.
Mandy would be getting free
No.
coffee.
Yeah.
No, Mandy.
We would both be functioning our job roles a lot better.
I would read. I could read so many words.
Oh,
Think of all the,
Could
think
you
of all the
though?
words.
I could find so many child predators.
I could so many words I could read. I could spell.
Shane, it sounds like your team needs a lot of coffee. man.
Yeah.
I could spell so
Don't
good.
spend $300 a month on coffee.
I could know English.
I don't
If
know if
you're-
you would know English even with 7 bags of coffee a day, man.
Your points are dumb. I don't like them. So
So I think we need a coffee promotion where all these other nonprofits are asking you to give up coffee, right? Give up to give. Like,
Mhm.
don't drink coffee for a month and donate to us instead.
Find your
That's
new
horrible. We need a promotion saying buy more coffee.
That's basically what Saturday is.
Yeah, exactly.
Donate to ILF and get coffee.
Yeah, don't give anything up. Buy
I
more.
I like this promotion idea because I thought you were saying that that should be a fundraiser where me personally doesn't drink coffee for a lot
hey.
of time and people
Hey, now
donate to that.
So we need to have a separate stream where you don't drink coffee for about a week and
People
then
are
come
crying
on.
by
No, but
four
we
And then
wouldn't
people
make
will
it past
see-
2
No,
days.
people would see why it's such a bad idea because
Nope,
people are
that-
like, you're addicted. And I'm like, I know. And it's for a good reason. I'm fully aware. I admit it. It's not a problem. It is literally the solution.
Hashtag decaf Mandy.
You don't want it. No one wants to see it.
No one wants it.
No one wants to interact
kinda
with it.
want it.
I promise.
I kind of.
I don't want to interact with it.
I'll send you tea.
Yeah, you're right, Tully. It's a horrible idea, but
Joke's
different
on
groups
you,
are
but
doing
30
that.
pounds
Yeah.
of tea.
So we
But
need to
wait,
Cyber
one of-
knows.
need to do the
Yeah,
opposite.
but Cyber is forgetting that you can't do that now.
Okay. It's past 7 p.m. That you're
My addiction
You're
may
better
save your
now
life.
than you are at 10 a.m., Andy.
You're lucky she's not crying right now.
Oh my god, you're right.
that usually happens after 9,
7.
7,
Yeah.
7, 9.
Our trace
Well,
lab
we
Alright.
started to
CTF
cry
say
earlier
otherwise.
today because we talked about comfort colors, so I think we were a little ahead of schedule.
Okay, I did cry at 10 a.m.
I have pictures.
Well, before Mandy cries for the 10th time today, let's cut this
Run
where
away.
we are before we descend into complete chaos.
Too late.
We will
Right,
let
it's
you
not
know.
true.
We
It's
will
not
let
true.
you all know when we set up a stream where Mandy has to give up coffee for our entertainment.
Yes.
it will
That-
happen at some point. Now
Maybe
Get
ILF
she
will.
came up with the idea. She threw herself under that bus.
I
So
I mean, we
misunderstood
tortured Chris.
the
Maybe it's a
idea.
Mandy this coming year for ILF Fest. I'm
I
just
thought we
saying.
wanted to have fun,
Oh.
guys. I thought we wanted to have
we
fun.
will. We will.
We'll have fun. You
We'll have
won't
all
have
the
fun.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much, Tony, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for
We
having me.
absolutely. We do want to remind everyone we have a 5K coming up on September 25th. Okay, so to get the registration link, if you're still in chat, go ahead and type !5K, and you can get all that information there. Also, as always, Shane, go ahead.
Oh,
have a-
no, I was just going to
5K?
say, you can walk the 5K,
Yeah, great
and
addition.
the merch is amazing. Thank you, Sai.
piggies.
We have 5K distressed piggies. If you haven't seen the shirts
I am distressed.
and you're not going to do the 5K, just go get a shirt because it's just so cool. It's that simple.
And then
Wrap
a
the
bonus
piggies.
because you have the piggy and everyone will think you did the 5K. So
Yeah.
it's really a win-win.
And honestly, if you look at the piggy and the robot, they look like they've done the work for you. So
They have some bags under their eyes.
I
I see them and I'm like, this is this is what I see when I look in the mirror every day. Great. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Just a reminder, when you donate to ILF, you are directly funding the mission to identify anonymous child predators and help bring them to justice. So everyone that donated tonight, everyone that has ever donated or supported us in any way, thank you very much. Hop over and do the same for OSE. All right. We'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
thanks all.
Good night, all. Thank
Night.
you.